We open on some mobsters about to commit a crime of some sort, but the focus is on the driver of the getaway car, who is a young newcomer man. He calls his fiancée,
Wanda, it's Buster. I got the rings. And the okay to use the limo tonight?
Sounds like they're getting married very soon.
Tell me what you're wearing and what you're not.
Oh, Buster, stop it. You're driving me crazy.
Oh, these two are super into each other. It's kind of cute.
Now, come on. Give us a little hum.
Phone sex for newcomers just involves humming. I can buy that. But yeah, they get interrupted as he witnesses this murder. So this news broadcast reveals that the newcomer's name is Buster Keaton. They were all arrested for that murder, and he's in protective custody because he's going to testify against the mob, and there's been a hit put out on him. Matt fell asleep with a pork rind in his hand. If that's not perfectly on brand for him, I don't know what is. Yeah, of course Matt and George are the ones given the fun task of keeping an eye on Buster.
I think you'd leave without saying goodbye.
Come on, Sykes. All I'm asking for is 15 minutes with Wanda. Just 15.
Title drop.
Ernie just trying to pull your plug. All you care about is getting horizontal. Well, keep it up. You'll get horizontal on the corner slab.
Look, Sykes, it's the Sardinac, man. I can't help these urges. They're out of control.
Oof. Okay, Sardinac is basically a newcomer aphrodisiac, and boy is that going to make an interesting appearance in a later episode.
We are talking about two beings who take an intense aphrodisiac that so stimulates each partner's physical and emotional...
Yeah, when they do that, they end up bonded in eternal monogamy.
So yeah, they aren't just a stereotypical horny couple, even if they act like it.
It still sounds like a bunch of bonking to me.
We don't bonk, Matthew. We hum.
Yeah, well, I've had 3 weeks of sleepless nights wondering if Ernie Jet's gonna come waltzing in here with an AK-47 and chop us all to pieces.
They've been at this for 3 weeks. No wonder Matt is so irritable. This is Matt, though, so he was probably irritable from the start.
And let's not forget Granny and her sickeningly predictable feeding of her flying rats. Hiya, Granny.
I like how he still manages to fake a smile for that old lady.
If I'm overreacting, it's because it's all getting to me. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry these 3 weeks have been so miserable, but...
Like an old married couple. Matt gets a call from Kathy saying that she heard screams coming from his apartment, so he's about to break the rules and go check it out. Which George is thrilled about.
You just want to get out of here.
Now, this is legit, George. This is my home. Besides, who's gonna know?
I will.
Me too.
I must tell you, I find your total disregard for the rules very disturbing.
Hang this around your neck.
So yeah, all that noise was coming from Matt's daughter and her boyfriend.
Should I dust her for Prince? You want dead animal duty for a month?
Like Matt, she's a bit younger than she was in the movie and obviously unmarried. She also calls him by his first name.
Matt, this is Thor. Thor Matt.
Oh, you're Matt. Hey, Kirby tells me that you're a police detective. That is so conceptual, man.
Of course, her boyfriend is a parental nightmare.
Matt, I told Thor that you were cool, so don't go and pull a mom on me, okay?
Oh, it's Mom, not Victoria.
Mom doesn't understand me like you do. You're the cool parent.
Look, Thor, how about covering up the old lightning bolt, huh?
He wasn't really standing there naked, was he? I assumed he was wearing a towel. Ew.
Oh, wait. Can I borrow $20 for cab fare?
Cab fare, what's wrong with the buses?
Well, there is no crosstown.
Matt is clearly a big old softy when it comes to his daughter.
You're just so busy, I'd never even think to ask to use the Corallo. Like, don't worry about it. I can just hitch a ride or something.
Take the Corallo.
Did I say softy? I meant doormat.
You are the best, Matt. Thanks!
Meanwhile, the hitman is stalking Wanda. Heh, I figured Buck would be out of the picture for a little bit after his subplot from the pilot was over, but nope.
Hey, forget this trike, babe. I'll give you a ride you'll never forget.
Girls, what's the matter? Cheerleaders wouldn't let you play with their pom-poms?
He's witnessing a couple guys harassing this cool motorcycle chick. Of course, all these people are gathering around to watch, but no one is helping.
Mind your own business, Slab.
Except Buck. And she just drives off. Right before the police show up.
Mr. Fisher, we were just minding our own business till the slag went crazy.
Yeah, considering you have a criminal record, that was really stupid. Back to Matt, he calls his ex-wife, and that goes about as well as you'd expect.
Kirby mentioned college, and...
His daughter's name is Kirby? Kirby Sykes, that's a name.
I'm on duty.
Duty before daughter, same old Matthew. Don't be late.
Vic... Honey, I'm home.
Where have you been?
And now he's pissed off his current wife.
Shut up and eat your muskrat.
It's sloth. Sykes, you've got a bad attitude.
Anyway, Buster acts entitled, so Matt tells him to go away.
Sykes, does taking away the only thing that pacifies me make you feel good?
This really is like a family with a teenage son, isn't it?
Matthew, just leave him alone.
Poor George is really stressed.
On the ship, they kept us locked up. We weren't allowed to be parents. And now that we have to be parents, we don't know how to be parents. And the answers are not in this Mr. Spock book.
It's Dr. Spock. Mr. Spock's one of you guys.
I always loved that line, but it's even funnier now that Gary Graham has played a recurring character on Star Trek Enterprise as a Vulcan. You can't make this shit up.
But he still knows nothing about being parents.
But yeah, part of George's frustration is due to having been on the slave ship. This situation is reminding him of that.
On that ship, locked away for 2 generations. I am talking about mothers and fathers being separated from their kids when they were only 10 years old. We were never allowed to be with our teenagers. We were never allowed to be there. And it is the same damn thing now.
Oh, that one got Matt right in the feels. Buck is getting into trouble again. It just never ends with that kid, does it?
Susan is there, but once again, I am not. I am never there for Buck. I wasn't even there when he was born.
Matt insists that George go and be with his family for a while.
No, regulations.
Forget regulations. This is family. Look, you covered for me, I'll cover for you.
Aw. Later, George goes with Susan to talk to Buck's principal.
An incident like this could prevent him from continuing in the special detention program. Buck's a bright boy. He has a future. That's why I have decided to turn matters over to you instead of the law.
Afterwards, she talks about what she's learned from watching TV.
It's what they call a Western. There was this widower named Ben who was trying to raise his 3 sons. And the youngest, I think his name was Little Joe, had been in a fight at a saloon over a horse. And he remained calm. And he took the time to talk with Little Joe, to try and understand him.
Parenting tips from Bonanza? So George tries that with Buck.
I am worried about your future. And I don't think that fighting with humans is the way to grow up on this planet.
You don't even know what it's like to grow up on this planet.
I know that violence and hatred is wrong, and I think your friends are pushing you in that direction.
They're the only ones who accept me.
He's still friends with those guys, even though one of them ratted him out.
What do you care?
I'm your father.
You're just somebody who shows up for dinner once in a while.
Ouch. Meanwhile, things aren't going so well between Matt and Buster. Crap, newcomers are strong, aren't they?
You horny bastard.
I'm sorry, Sykes. I've never hit anybody before in my life.
I have.
He enjoyed that a little too much.
Buster's been a bad boy, but he's promised to be good. I hate to run out on you again, but I gotta meet with the ex about Kirby. Everything okay back at the ranch?
Yes.
Interesting choice of words with the mention of Bonanza earlier. Back to Buck, the girl from earlier catches up with him.
You want to ride? What? You're afraid to be downwind from a turret? Huh? I know we stink. We do. We all stink. I stink. At least we don't play connect the dots on our heads.
She's kind of fun.
Could you give me a break here? I've been waiting for you all day.
It turns out she's been in trouble too, and that's why she took off.
What do those turds want? The ones that were knocking you around?
Something they'll never get.
Looks like they nailed you pretty good.
No.
Oh, and she's got an abusive dad, so that's gonna give Buck some perspective.
My name is Sal.
Sal?
It was short for Sally, but Sally didn't really fit, you know? You're Buck, like the stops here, right?
I think he likes that.
I was just picking stuff out around in my head, you know.
Me too.
Anyway, she offers him a ride home.
For that spaceman in the shining armor thing you did today. Anybody drinks bat blood's gotta have little guts.
I'm tempted to make a joke about Buck not needing a helmet, but it just doesn't feel right. Later, Matt meets his ex at a restaurant. She wants him to sign some forms for the college that she wants their daughter to go to, and this is the first Matt is hearing about it.
Don't I have anything to say about this?
I assumed you'd be too busy.
The gist of this conflict is that her version is that Matt was never there for their kid. His is that whenever he tried, she would always keep her away from him.
At least I was there.
You made it so I couldn't be there as much as I wanted.
And it turns out she didn't bring all the forms and can't send them to him because he can't disclose the location of where he's staying.
I'm sorry I asked. I thought you might want to be there.
So that it's not a complete waste of time, Matt writes a check.
This zeroes out my account. It's not a hell of an education, but it's a start.
that was unneeded.
I have already given Kirby the tuition money, but I will tell her you contributed.
You did.
Meanwhile, the hitman shoots a cop in his car and uses the computer to find where Buster is being kept. Grandma Bala's goose entrails. So George just pours that into a bowl and Buster eats it like cereal.
No, Buster, no. No 15 with Wanda.
What the hell is this?
I am trying to create a little order.
Do you bother to ask me if I like order?
Oh god, now they really are like the odd couple.
Why am I suddenly excluded from every major decision in life?
They're both mad about stuff happening with their kids and taking it out on each other.
Sykes!
Now Matt gets a call and it turns out his daughter wrecked his car.
What happened to the college stuff?
We just blew it off today.
Blew it off? That was the only reason I let you take the Corello.
Mom's been telling me for years and years how you screwed up college and how badly you want me to go.
I didn't say that. I don't want you to go to college. I just want you to be happy, damn it.
And there's clearly something else that she doesn't quite get around to telling him.
I knew you'd understand. Bye.
Understand what?
She and Thor eloped, didn't they? Meanwhile, Buck meets Sal.
Wait a minute, not so fast, B. You had your free ride yesterday. This time you drive.
I don't think I should.
Can he even put on that helmet? Well, he doesn't get a chance to because his gang shows up.
Do all these grunts mean something, or is it just the goat guts backing up in your bellies?
I say we kick some ass and start with her.
Not today.
Then when, Buck?
They try to get him to go somewhere with them, but he turns them down.
Maybe you're just selling out to the humans like your old man.
Hey, you're either one of us or you're not. And you know what leaving means.
Interesting color this gang has. It's kind of similar to the color of their blood, so it makes sense from that perspective.
Is that the only way out to face them all? They will kill you.
Well, that sucks.
Well, don't worry, George. We deposit this psycho at the courthouse this afternoon and we're out of here.
Back to Matt and George. Matt has to call his ex again.
I'm talking about Kirby flushing her college education down the drain because you told her you didn't want her to go.
I didn't tell her I didn't want her to go to college. All right, well, I said that, but I didn't mean it like that.
And now she's taken her tuition money and she's buying some kind of trailer, which she and Thor are getting ready to drive off in as we speak.
Okay, they didn't elope, they're just shacking up. They catch up to her and Matt finally puts his foot down.
I think everything you've done for the past couple days stinks. Out!
You've been talking to her, haven't you? What happened to the father who was a friend?
Friend? A friend that you never came to see?
What happened to the cool guy?
The cool guy? The cool guy has been a real chump. Instead of a father, you've got a yes man.
You have been a chump. Good on you for figuring it out.
I should have known you'd screw this up. Just forget it. Kirby, get in the car!
No, Victoria, you forget it. This is between me and my daughter.
He also puts his foot down with his ex, and look, I'm sure she's partly right about Matt having been a bad parent, but she had it coming too. He kind of ended up in the middle of all this where he couldn't win no matter what he did.
And you get in the car!
Afterwards, he has a moment with his daughter where he admits where he went wrong with her.
I was this rookie cop, married to his high school sweetheart. Suddenly there's a mortgage and a baby, and then one day the locks have changed. I just can't cram 18 years into 5 minutes. I'm sorry.
Aw.
We have time.
As your father, I think RVs and no college is a mistake, and I don't want you to go. But as your friend, I want you to live your own life and do what you think is right. It's your call.
I think your advice would sound a little less conflicting if you reminded her that adults have responsibilities. I mean, yeah, do what makes you happy, but don't only do that. Oh, God damn it. Later, Matt and George are getting Buster ready to testify. George apologizes for some of the things he said and admits that he feels he's not a very good parent. And Matt, after what he's been through with his daughter, has this to say.
Being a parent is on-the-job training. All we can do is give them love, consistency, hope they don't become axe murderers.
If there is one thing that I have learned, it's the importance of communication. Not just between parent and child, but between friends. And I want to thank you for talking with me. And I want you to know that I will always be there for you.
Matt hates when George gets all sentimental.
Strange. She always fed the pigeons inside the coop.
And hey, the pigeon lady looks different today. Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. He even throws a grenade in there. Holy crap.
That really pisses me off.
Matt goes in after him while George cuffs poor Buster to a pipe and goes to cover Matt.
You left Buster alone?
Believe me, he is not going anywhere.
And Buster got away. Matt and George go straight to Wanda's house.
Oh, yeah. You and the campfire girls just doing an overnighter?
No, I was gonna go see my aunts.
Your aunts. She must be a fun gal. Now, where is he?
Her phone was bugged, so the hitman knows where to find him now. He's got a valve still cuffed to his wrist. Also, the mannequin's lower regions light up. That's creative.
Come on, Wanda, where are you?
It's hum o'clock already. It's always hum o'clock for these two. The hitman does track him down, but Matt and George get there just in time.
Put the goddamn drum in!
Oh, we'll let these two fuck already.
George, go see your family. I'll write the report. I remember how. Now, go on. Get out of here.
Aw, that was so nice of Matt.
Go on before I change my mind, huh?
It doesn't end there.
Orders from Captain Gracier. The subject's to be brought to the courthouse immediately.
He'll be ready in 15 minutes. Well, what are you waiting for? There's a room in back, isn't there?
Buster actually gets his 15 with Wanda.
Sykes. Thanks.
To be fair, he'll probably do a better job if he doesn't have other things on his mind, so it's not totally selfless. Meanwhile, Sal goes to the Francisco house to let Susan know that Buck is in trouble, and Buck goes to meet his friends.
Invata suras, invata miss.
And they immediately start wailing on him. Go, Mama Bear Susan.
Where's Spaceman in shining armor? You're a real mess. You okay?
George arrives right afterwards.
I got your message. I couldn't get here any sooner.
And Buck is officially out of that gang. Later, Matt is finally back home, and he kept the box of cigars he got when his daughter was born. And we end on this picture of him with his daughter, playing with the train set he still has. Aww. Probably not one of the better episodes technically, but I liked it. It was fun and less heavy than the last one. It is a little odd that we got 2 episodes about parenting in a row, though the last one was more about parenting in general, and this one is more about the difficulty of parenting. Plus, we see Matt interacting with his daughter instead of having a stand-in, so there's room for both. But maybe there could have been an episode or 2 about something else between them to space them apart a little. Funny thing about this episode is that it's one of very few where there is no case to solve, and it focuses almost completely on Matt and George and their respective issues with being parents. Buster gets a reasonable amount of screen time, but the episode really isn't about him, and Wanda, who this episode is named after, barely gets any. This episode doesn't even get 15 with Wanda. But we did get more resolution for Buck. I guess I figured that he had already stopped hanging out with his friends and that was all resolved off screen. I guess I didn't expect that they were like a real gang that wasn't going to let him go without putting him through a gauntlet. But that's what happened, so I guess Buck's subplot from the pilot is really over now. But we'll see, I guess. Buster Keaton was played by character actor David Bowe, who I mention only because his name stands out to me because I always read it as David Bowie for a split second and I get all excited only to realize, oh, it's just that David Bowe guy. What a troll. He was kind of a fun character. I had to cut a lot of his lines for time, but there was a running joke where he kept trying to bribe Matt and George for his 15 with Wanda by offering them things at low prices because he's all underground and he knows a guy. Also, Sal? She was played by Tank Girl. It makes me a little sad to say that she never shows up again. I'm not sure why they introduced this character as a one-episode wonder. I mean, not only is she a possible love interest for an alien who normally hates humans, and that's pretty interesting, but she's a pretty fun character, and you just see her here and think this is the start of some kind of arc, especially with how she has a hand in saving Buck's life in the end. But nope, she never comes back. At least she didn't end up in the opening credits like poor Jill, whose absence we're constantly reminded of. R.I.P. Sal. I guess there isn't much else to say about this one. Next up is The Takeover, which is an interesting one. See you then. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Here are some other videos you might be interested in, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to further support my channel, there's always Patreon.
All right, damn it. I know you use my razor spud brain, but I don't get it. You don't have any hair on your face, on your head, on your legs. What the hell do you shave? Oh, wait. I don't even want to know.